Okay.
1, 2, 3.
김남준, 김석진, 이윤기, 정호석, 박지민, 김태영, 전정국, BTS.
Woo! Today's topic on 안녕하세요 pod. Run it back. Today's episode on
안녕하세요 pod
with
Lois
and Irene is
Bangtan 소년단.
BTS. Finally we're here.
Okay,
Finally.
this is for our army girlies. Honestly though, I there's so much I want to kind of talk about when we talk about BTS, and I don't want people to just immediately turn this off because they're like, oh, I don't care about BTS, or I don't listen to K-pop, or
Neither did
I'm not a stan. I hope we get a chance to explain our love, and yeah, we'll have a segment I think at the end that will be strictly for our army.
Yes.
Our army people.
Wait, before we get started, let's shout out our shirts.
Yes. Okay, so today I'm wearing my D-Day shirt that was from the D-Day concert.
Yes,
at the Flames. Throwback to a beautiful day.
I have a custom Yoongi
shirt. It's hard to see.
Woo, Yoongi.
But my husband made that.
We love
got it made, got it embroidered.
We love customization. Etsy who?
But yeah, and also a snack spotlight. We have our ginza that we had in our previous episode. We're having some more ginza because so great. And then we also have honey butter chips today.
You know,
what year was this so popular? There was
it was a big craze.
I know there was 1 year where this was viral, off the shelves, and low key. My opinion, I didn't get the hype.
Yeah, well,
did you?
Let's reassess.
Yes, let's reassess. This is because this is the original, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dupes and knockoffs, but I know this is the original. ASMR moment. Cheers.
Wow, if you've never had this.
Okay, wait, it's actually better than I remember it.
If you've never had this, it's literally honey and butter. It's buttery and smooth. It's kind of creamy
It's actually pretty good.
So previous statement redacted.
Okay, I don't know about flying off the shelves, sold out for days. Good. But it's pretty addicting. I kind of get it.
It is.
It's good. Okay.
All right. Want to pull up our notes?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess I just want to get right into why we love BTS. How did we become ARMY? So for the people who don't know, the fandom of BTS is called we're called ARMY. If you are a fan, you consider yourself part of the fandom, you're an ARMY. It's really weird. It could have been something weirder. It could have been bells or something.
Well, yeah, because in Korean it's Bangtan 소년단, but it means army. Not army, sorry. Bulletproof boys. So
there's
hence
that
army.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the thing is, I realized at first I thought it was weird that we call ourselves ARMY and that there's these fandoms for K-pop groups. But I realized even for non-K-pop groups, American artists, they have fandom names. What Ariana Grande's, they're called the Arianators or whatever, right?
And Selenators.
Oh God, sorry. Please don't hate us. But there's names for these fandoms, in general. So I don't think it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
So I just find that interesting. But how did we become ARMY? How did we
take it away?
Okay. I'm a COVID ARMY. So in 2020, this is the story for so many people in the fandom, by the way, but in COVID, I came across their carpool karaoke video with James Corden. Classic, okay? Right off the bat, well, obviously I had some interest in them before. I was just, if anything, I was intrigued because I was just proud and impressed that this small boy band from Korea was starting to make their way into the States, and I was hearing them on my radio in America, which that's the first time I was like, whoa, I heard Boy With Love on the radio. And that's when I was like, whoa, this is a big deal. But I had no interest in them before. And then the James Corden carpool karaoke, I was like, their energy was kind of like unmatched. I was watching that video and I was like, okay, these guys are really funny. Like, you know what I mean?
The colored hair.
Yeah. I think I had a resistance to liking them, which I'll get into later. But when I was watching that video, I was like, okay, they funny. Especially Hobie. Like J-Hope was so funny. And I was like, okay, this guy's hilarious. And then they do like the dance bit and J-Hope was so funny and but also so good. And I was like, okay, they're so funny. And then this is like literally what starts everybody on the rabbit hole. I literally just wanted to look up how old is BTS?
A lot of girlies did
That's
that.
how it starts. It started for me. I was like, how old are the members? And then just finding out that like half of them are the same age as me or 1 year older or younger was kind of very like, oh, that's really cool. They're like around my age. Like that's fun. And then I just kind of spiraled from there and started watching a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
And then I think I was just so captivated by RM, Namjoon. I think that happens to a lot of people here in the States too, because he's like kind of the spokesperson for the group. He's the leader and he's the one who speaks English. And so he's the one I understood the most. Even as a Korean person, I'm a Korean American, like I still gravitated towards Namjoon's English. So that started the spiral of like, oh my God, I love him. Like he's like, you get to know more of this person has so much depth and just so much like, he's so smart and you know what I mean? Like you just want to pick his brain. And then that just kind of spiraled into like, oh God, I really like this group. And then their music and just everything. And there's so much content that you can just dive into as a fan.
Right.
That I just spiraled in it. I called myself Army.
Yeah.
Yes.
DJ.
Yeah.
DJ.
I'll go into how I became a Yoongi stan later, but I want to hear how you became Army.
Oh my gosh. Around the same time, it's a funny story actually. We were hanging out one day and you're like, oh, you need to see this like music video. And I was like, okay. And she was like,
you were resistant too,
yeah,
right?
and she was like gushing about this like boy band. And like, I love boy bands too, but like at this point in time in my life, like I wasn't really into K-pop music. I only knew like the OGs, like 21. Shout out to them coming back. World tour, I think.
Second gen, right?
Second gen yes. K-pop. And like Big Bang. But any of the newer generation, I just wasn't, it wasn't my vibe. I was more into Western music and things like that. But I was like, oh, yeah, I was literally like, you like your boy bands and I'm going to stay over here, but like, I'll watch it. So like the video in question was Mic Drop. And, I love hip hop and the beat, it was with, the Steve Aoki mix. And I was like, oh, it's like kind of good. And like, I'm not really good at Korean. I don't know if you guys can tell, but, I get mixed for other like ethnicities, but like, I'm not really good at my native language. So like even when she was sharing me the music video, like I didn't know completely what they were saying, but I get the vibe. And I was like, oh, like I'm bobbing my head. I'm like, oh, and it's a slow progression of like, yeah, they're cool, yeah. And then I also did my own like, I don't know how I even got to the wormhole, but I also saw that James Corden video, and things like that. And I think my initial attraction to the group was but it was RM because I was like his husband material. He always said that he learned English from Friends, and Friends is one of my favorite like OG shows. And from learning it from tapes like that he had, like it's pretty impressive. And I just loved his intellectual mind. So it was just like a snowball effect. One by one by one. I've like found new things I liked about each person, and it kind of went crazy because I went to their concerts, the same one multiple times because I was just so enamored. But we'll go into that later too.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't. I just got throwbacks to their concert. I can't believe we're so privileged and blessed to
Yes.
have gone because I realize that there's still so many
Yes.
army who have not been able to go, and I'm so
I
sorry.
know.
But yeah, we were blessed to go more
Mhm.
than once.
More than one.
We went together to PTD
TV.
the first night, right? And then
Mhm.
you went separately. We
Yes.
went again the same day, but you
Different group of friends.
went with a different group of
Yes.
friends and I went with another group.
And that story was funny too.
Yeah. And then did you go again? No, didn't you go by yourself? Or like technically by yourself that second
Oh,
time? Like you went with a group of friends, but you got a seat like
yeah,
kind
in
of separate.
Vegas.
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
Vegas.
Oh, no, in LA.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
I
you went
forgot
like
about.
by
Oh my
yourself.
god,
You
did I
technically
see
went
it
alone.
3 times? No.
No,
Twice,
twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you
No.
went to
So
Vegas.
3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
forgot about that.
dang. You one up
Sorry
me.
guys, don't hate me. Don't cancel me, okay?
Hey, whatever you
They were
gotta do.
resale tickets
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
luckily I didn't get scammed, so thank God. But
Yeah.
dang, I forgot about that I went 3 times.
Yeah, you went to Vegas
Vegas with you and with my friend. Wait,
yeah.
no, Vegas with you and then by myself. I
Yeah.
don't know who drove me
Well,
there.
I think you went with like friends, like you stood in line with your friends, but your seat was like separate, so you technically sat by
Oh,
yourself.
because the friends I went with into Vegas with, they also saw it again. So
Oh,
it
okay,
was
okay,
them.
okay.
Yes,
Oh,
it's just all
dang.
clicking. Wow, what a memory
I
unlocked.
know. That's
Okay.
crazy. And then we went to D-Day concert together.
D-Day, woo
That was
woo,
also a
Tashita,
dream.
Tashita. I'm kidding. Yes,
Yeah, that
yes.
was a dream.
The
That was
tradition will continue in 2025, I
yeah,
hope.
we'll see.
Yeah,
We hope.
yeah.
Yeah. I want to get into like elaborating why we love BTS and also why like who they are and what they've done is so important. I
Yeah.
think just getting to the depth of that because
Mhm.
I like I want to explain because I feel like a lot of people when they hear and I don't feel the need to explain myself, but I kind of want to because I feel
Mhm.
like when people hear like, "Oh, you're a BTS fan. Oh, you're
Mhm.
one of those."
Mhm.
Like, "Oh, you're a K-pop stan." Like
Right.
it just like I don't know why there's like a negative connotation with
Right.
it.
Undertone. Uh-huh.
And also I feel like people dismiss me and immediately kind of like just see this like, oh, like
Like so
yeah,
childish.
you know
Yeah, yeah.
that, or just like she's a fangirl who's
Yeah.
obsessed with these pretty boys with
Mhm.
makeup and like blah blah
Mhm.
blah. And I'm like, listen, if you're still saying that about BTS, like I'm not saying that everyone has to like them or love
Mhm.
them or whatever, but if you're still saying to this day, like, oh, those guys who are just like pretty boys wearing makeup who get plastic surgery and wear dresses,
Mhm.
I'm like, dude,
Mhm.
like that's a misogyny thing. Like that
Mhm.
this is you have a problem. Like
Mhm.
what is it that makes you like go there? Because
Mhm.
like they have accomplished so much
Right.
objectively
Right.
and I just feel like it kind of is bizarre to me when people still kind of
Yeah.
like undermine them.
And breaking like stereotypes and like transitioning into Western music in the way that they have. There's other groups that have done that too, but I
Mhm.
think just because we're fans of this group specifically, we're kind of gearing our conversation towards that. But I know there's other groups too. We don't want to dismiss that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, it's just a sight to see.
And I do think BTS is different for various reasons, which I'll get to in a minute. But like what they've done is significant, like no other, to be
Mm.
honest. But yeah, I kind of just want to get into that. But I also just want to preface this by saying like we're talking about BTS, and I don't want people to think we're like anti fans of other groups.
Yeah,
Like we're
no,
not like honestly, I don't think we're K-pop stans, to be
no,
honest.
we
And not
just,
to say that
yeah.
being a K-pop stan is a bad thing. I just
Hmm.
think that it's a lot to
Yeah,
invest in these groups. Like
yeah,
there was KCON LA recently. Like there's
yes,
just so much going on right
yes.
now, but I just cannot keep up. And like
Hmm.
I really respect these groups and I think they're so talented.
Yeah,
But even investing in BTS and like putting our like
work.
love, time, and energy into this group is so much work and time that I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, I cannot keep up.
we
Like
invested like close to 4 years.
I know, but I mean, like, okay, so why have we invested so much time?
Hmm.
What do you think is so significant about them? And like,
Okay, I think mine is just like an amalgamation of videos I've seen of like them just being like so humble and like sweet, even with their status that they're at right now. Like, for example, there was a video where when they were trainees, like there was a restaurant in Korea that they went to who kind of took on like this mother figure because they were training for long hours, and it was kind of like a mom and pop, like just like a soup place, and they always visited, and they didn't have money at the time, but the owner um took care of them, and this was for like a long time. And then when they made it, they visited that place and still show their appreciation and love for like that owner who like helped them when they were like just starting out. And I feel like when people can go back in time into like their history of like how they became who they are and like not forget their roots, I think that's like a respectable thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of like other things, like when BTS is on a stage and um they're like cleaning up, they're helping the staff, like
Mm-hmm.
they're like on the grounds too. um it could be good PR, I don't know, but like it's just a lot of like, if you see it multiple times, it can't be a coincidence, right? Like, or faked behavior. If it's like really part of their DNA, you'll see it consistently throughout. And I've seen it consistently throughout many of their like showcases, concerts, programs that they do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the consistency is the biggest part because it's like that shows their character and it's like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I think like if there was bad blood or like there were like red flags or like toxic kind of like like tendencies, like that
Mm-hmm.
would eventually bleed out. But like they've
Yeah.
been doing this for so long and like I've never seen anything leak out of like,
Yeah.
oh, they used to bully this person and like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no scandal, like unless their NDAs are like
Yeah.
crazy good, you
Like
never
locked.
know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think just seeing the consistency of their humble behavior, like just who they are as humans, like really show. And I think what a lot of people say as army is that you you show up for their music
Mm-hmm.
and then you stay for the members and like their
Mm-hmm.
personalities because
Mm-hmm.
it's like a lot of people can be drawn to their music
Right.
and then when you become armies because you start finding out what they're like as people and
Mm-hmm.
that's what people stay for is like
Right.
finding out like oh shoot they're so funny, they're actually really humble like
Mm-hmm.
humans, they're really great people, like they're super artistic and talented but they're
Mm-hmm.
so humble
Mm-hmm.
is like a reason why people
And
stay.
also like their brotherhood. Like I like the fact that like they are naturally close, right? Like they fight, they like make up, they are very like supportive of each other, like always saying happy birthday to each other when it's their birthdays and showing up, like when before they went to the army, like all the members would show up at different times for the different members, and it's like for them it's not just a group that they're a part of, it's like legit family, and like I
Mm-hmm.
think you could see that in their interactions, which I
Yeah, I feel like
appreciate.
that goes for a lot of groups, but I
Mm-hmm.
think really for them, like at least for me, like I again, I don't really, I'm not seeing like the other videos of other groups, and I'm sure that these other groups have that same level of like brotherhood and
Mm-hmm.
friendship and whatever. But I
Right.
think that's a big thing that we're drawn to as a fandom
Mhm.
as well is like seeing their genuine love for each
Mhm.
other. And I'm saying this because I've seen other groups where I haven't seen, where sometimes I don't see that
Mhm.
as genuinely or as authentically as I've seen with BTS.
Mhm.
And it's just like, yeah, just that chemistry is
Mhm.
so like you're
Chemistry.
so drawn to it. It's like, oh, they genuinely love each other. And like
Right.
the crazy thing is like, of course they're gonna have conflict as a group over the
Mhm.
years, but they've shown
Mhm.
like footage of that too and how they've overcome that. And there's
Mhm.
just so much like I think emotional intelligence involved when
Mhm.
they go through conflict and how they've
Mhm.
talked about it. And I think
Mhm.
that's also really special
Mhm.
and like a maturity, I
Right.
think. Yeah,
Yeah, and like the list like honestly goes on,
it goes
but
on.
we're just like giving a truncated version of like
Yeah.
why we like them so
Yeah. I mean,
much.
I want to go back to what you said about the roots of like
Mhm.
them going back to the roots. And this is why I think this is a very heavy statement. Don't cancel me for this, but I don't think there's ever going to be another BTS
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
Hear me out. I think it's because BTS's start was so rough.
Yeah.
And other K-pop groups have kind of had this before, but
Mhm.
like I don't want to say BTS paved the way. That's a very like controversial statement. There are other like first gen, second gen K-pop artists like Psy and other like artists who have, like made their way into the States and into mainstream media. But what BTS did was so huge because they're an underdog story.
Right.
And we don't really see that anymore because
they almost split up.
Yeah. So they started off, this is like a history lesson, K-pop history lesson. But for people who don't know, in K-pop industry, there was 3 big groups, right? There was SM, YG, and JYP. Okay. Those are like the machine, like those are like the Toyota, Hyundais, whatever, like of K-pop. Like if you were part of those 3, like you were set to go. Like these people were just, these groups are just pumping out,
literally
like trainees, like a machine. And then BTS was part of this tiny ass little entertainment group with what's his face, blanking out.
Shoot.
I gotta look it up. Big hit.
Keep on. Shoot. Oh no. Bang PD.
Bang PD.
There we go.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna look it up right now so we're not canceled. Bang Shi-hyuk. Yeah, Bang PD.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was like, they were gonna be bankrupt. Like that's how small they were. Like they were nobodies. And like Bang Shi-hyuk like literally went all in on RM and was like, I see potential in this guy. I'm going all in. I'm gonna create this group.
That's crazy.
And just like go all in on this group. And it's like you don't see that anymore. And it's like they went through a lot of trial and a lot of hate, and they were about to break up because they were like, we're bankrupt. Like we need to make money. We need to survive. And for them to become, and then eventually, obviously, they started getting their accolades. They started getting their flowers. They started to rise.
Right.
And now Big Hit is literally like the most money making entertainment group in Korea right now. It literally
it's surpassed. Like a mega giant.
I'm pretty sure they surpassed YG, JYP, SM, all of that. And it's just like for them to have done that, I think we won't see that again, maybe.
And it's crazy that like I feel like the meteoric rise started in 2019 to 2024 too.
Yeah.
Like that steady increase to like explosion.
Yeah, because I know that they had concerts and stuff here before 2019. I think even 2018, whatever. But I think 2019, 2020 was really starting to see their like way more performances in their award shows, getting Grammy nominations and all of those things, which is such a big deal.
Right.
That it's like they are who they are because of their failures. It's so philosophical and deep, but it's like I want people to
you gotta fail to succeed.
You gotta understand. I wish people really understood that that's like where these people are coming from. Some people just see BTS and see like, oh wow, like these cool guys doing all this stuff, but it's like because of their failures and because of like what they went through, that they're still these humble like K-pop stars.
Right.
I don't even consider them like K-pop, honestly. Like some people might cancel me for that, but like I feel
they're
like
artistes.
Yeah, I feel like they've really gone beyond that label. But yeah, I think because it's like I keep hearing time and time again too from other people who know someone who knows like a recording someone who has like through the grapevine that like the common thread is that they're so humble and they're so kind.
Like it's
and,
not
like,
an act.
Yeah, like they have every right to become divas and kind of like it wouldn't be a surprise honestly if I found out that like they're actually kind of like divas, they're actually kind of but they're like still to this day from what I know is that like they're so consistently humble and kind and respectful to their staff, the people they work with, the people they encounter, which is what the draw is, like you know what I mean, like
it humanizes like a group of people that like are so different from quote unquote regular folk that it's like nice, it's a nice like breath of fresh air.
Yeah I think like even them being in the army, to be honest, like I can imagine them getting along so well with like everyone there, and like I'm hoping that as they start trickling out that stories will start coming out of like how they were in army, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's all
good vibes
and positive stories. And to be honest, like we're already seeing like leaked stuff of like how a lot of them are in leadership rankings and like
and they're built
oh my god girl
Woo!
Yeah, like just stuff like that, you know? I'm just like, they're just really like stand-up people and just like stand-up human beings. Like, makes us proud to be
Army.
Army.
Well, on that topic, like we talked about like who we initially liked. So if we changed our bias, and
How
if
did we get
so,
there?
how did we get there?
I want to start off by saying, what's a bias? People are like, what the heck is that?
Education
Yeah.
time.
So your bias, for people who don't know, this is like a K-pop vocabulary.
Yes.
Your bias is basically your favorite member. Like, to put in layman's term, like if you love the Beatles, obviously if you love the Beatles, you have a favorite, like, oh, I'm a John Lennon person, or like Paul McCartney's my guy. That's your bias.
Like, who do you lean towards?
Yeah, like everyone has like someone they're extra drawn to. Obviously there's also the term OT7, like 1 through 7, like basically you're like genuinely you're like everyone's my favorite, which I don't think anyone's truly OT7. I don't know. I think everyone goes through their waves and whatever, which is totally fine. But yeah, I think like it's just natural to like be drawn to someone, a certain personality, a certain style.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know actually how, because you started off as a Namjoon fan. Like, you were like, RM's my bias, RM's my bias.
Husband.
Yeah, he's my husband.
Husband area.
And I was like, I remember actually being like, I think Jungkook's gonna be your bias.
That was so funny to me.
Yeah, and then eventually he became your bias. But I'm curious, like, what was the like turning point for you?
Yeah, I think when I met Namjoon, I guess in that era of my life, I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a husband. Like, I need that kind of energy. He has leadership skills.
Yeah.
He takes care of people. You know, I'm like, yes, sign me up. And while I'm like telling myself this and believing it at that, Lois is like, no, I think you like Jungkook. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I told you it's Namjoon. Like, yeah, like, I think he's cute and everything, but he's like a little too young. You know what I mean? That's what I was saying.
He is younger than you. He's 97.
He is.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what it is. He started getting like eyebrow piercing, the lip.
Yeah, actually, yeah. He started getting more like
the lip,
like leaning into his baddie like era.
Then he had like one tattoo, a handful of tattoos, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And you know, in what music video was it? Not, I forget which music video, but he was looking good. He was looking good in a lot of those.
Was it like a newer one that came out, or like you just kind of came across an older one?
I think I don't know. It's just like I started looking at fan cams of him and like him dancing so vigorously, but also having perfect pitch, and you know, him doing the kind actions of like helping staff, but also being like able to do the duality of like sexy but cute. I was like, oh. And then I have a weak spot for tattoos, so I was like. And there was a time where like he was hiding those because like from Korean like,
and I think he
stuff.
still has to on certain like
but it was kind of like a secret, you know. I was like, oh, he has something underneath that. Oh my gosh! And then when they did was it W Magazine or something? They did a photo shoot, and he was
They did several,
but there was a one where he was like,
he revealed his tats.
He was like. Actually, no. There was one where he has like greenish hair, but he's wearing like these glasses.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Wasn't that Louis Vuitton?
Maybe Louis Vuitton. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, he looked good there. Ooh, and don't get me started on the Calvin Klein. Woo! 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 Sign me up. Can do my laundry on those abs. Woo! Oh my god! And yeah, I think it was like a natural progression of all of that, and I was just like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm still in my bad boy era.
Yeah. It was meant to be. I need to say that you and Jungkook are birthday twins, by the way.
Oh my gosh!
By the way.
Isn't that fate?
Isn't that fate?
Hello, like
just adding to her Delulu.
No, it's not even Delulu. Like, we just need to meet up because what are the odds with the same birthday?
No, truly.
And the energy just matches, you know? Yeah. So I think it was just match made. But what was funny to me was, I'm like, how do you know me better than I know myself? I literally had to redact my statement and be like, yeah, I think he's one. My secondary bias, he doesn't even deserve to be called secondary. My other bias is Jimin.
Yeah.
Because his high pitched voice, it gets me, and I know it gets a lot of people, men and women, and it was the song "Boy with Love."
Oh,
yes,
that like drew you to Jimin.
Yeah. I was like, yes. And also "Home" when he sings his portion. Yeah. A lot of reasons.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Jungkook is the maknae, aka the youngest, and he's known to be the golden maknae, because he's like good at everything. Like literally, he's like
he can paint.
Like there's jack of all trades, master of none, but he's
master of all.
I guess. Like he's so good at everything. Like obviously he's like the greatest vocalist of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, not of all time. Okay.
No,
he's great.
He's really good, and then
he's a great vocalist.
He can paint.
He's a good dancer performer.
He's a
he can
good
paint,
dancer.
Like just this random crap that he's so good at. Like he's just good at everything.
Yeah, like any challenge, like sporty type thing. Yeah, he's like good at that too.
I feel like we should like give our snippets of each member of like what they're like.
Oh sure.
So that's Jungkook, and then Jimin is also one of your biases.
Yes.
He
has a dance background.
Yeah, he's our dancer boy. Yes. He's like our sensitive, artistic. Like he came from like a contemporary dance,
and he
like
was top of his class.
Yeah,
and he got scouted actually.
Yeah,
but what was funny is he almost got booted out of like trainee program because
really I didn't. Oh
yeah, a couple times.
I mean, he's just not your standard like K-pop kind of, or maybe he is.
And he has a hidden tattoo that says "Never mind." Never mind.
Right, I know he's tatted too.
It's all hidden though. It's hidden.
Yeah, but Jimin's are like kind of. I feel like he's more timid, kind of like our softie. Like he's our sensitive, like quiet boy. He's really shy. Jimin's the shy guy, I think. Yeah.
And when I think of Jimin, I think, save me. Okay, if you know, you know. Save me.
You know. Yeah. He's kind of like easy to make fun of in the sense that he's like shy and gets embarrassed easily, but also he's so sweet and just like the kindest human being ever, probably. We're acting like we know them and we've met them. We know them, but we haven't met them.
We're their besties
also,
that they don't know.
For us with this whole parasocial relationship.
Yeah. I mean, we know it's toxic.
Yeah, so don't worry.
We're just indulging in it. Okay,
yes,
let us be.
So that's Jimin, and then there's V or Taeyong, Kim Taeyong. He's one of the younger ones too. He's our. How would you describe him?
He's like he has a face card.
Yeah.
He really knows how to like you know.
I think he's like objectively one of the most good-looking people ever. He's so good-looking.
Yeah. For PTD, there was like so like during the concert, in between songs, they play like a little video, and one of his videos, it's like he's shown on screen.
Was it the paperclip
he has
one?
a paperclip in his mouth. Yeah.
If you know, you know the paperclip scene.
And like something about his eyes and the paperclip, I'm like,
he's just so good looking. He's really nice on the eyes, easy to look at, but also like he doesn't use that, I feel like, as a crutch. Like I think he knows he's good looking, but like he doesn't seem cocky at all. He's like our jazzy boy. He's like the one into jazz. He has the if Jimin's like up here, Tae is like down here. Tae is like the alto, or what, I don't know what it's called in guy voice terms, but he's like, his voice is so deep,
lower
and,
register,
so easy to listen to though. It's like so smooth, and he's kind of like, he has his own like interests. Like he's like into jazz and photography. He's very artsy in his own way. Yeah. He's so cute.
He's a cutie. Yeah.
And then there's we did Jungkook, Jimin, Tae, J-Hope.
He has like a smile that's contagious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think he said, sometimes he gets sad. Yeah. But like he wants to have this hope world energy.
Yeah.
Like
he's
give
our
people
sunshine.
hope. Yeah,
He'll be sunshine. Yeah. He's like literally the brightest person in the room kind of guy.
And scary dance teacher.
Yeah. Like again, so much of the duality with these guys, like they have this like silly, goofy, hilarious side to them, and then they have their like, ooh, like they're on stage, they're dancing, like, oh man, like
Like, you know how Beyonce, her alter ego is like Sasha Fierce?
Yeah.
Like, I think they each have their
Yeah,
own
no, really.
fierce whatever.
Yeah, J-Hope's are like the dancer guy. He's kind of like the leader when it comes to teaching dances and learning dances.
Mm.
But also he's like the funniest, I think, goofball kind of
Mm-hmm.
personality guy. He's definitely like he loves to lean into his fashionista
Mm-hmm.
side. He loves
He
shopping and
does. He
fashion.
does. Very artsy too.
Yeah, in
Like
his
with
own
his Jack in
way.
the Box
Yeah.
like album art and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So that's J-Hope. And then there's Yoongi, my
I mean that's all
bias.
you.
Yeah,
So
so Yoongi, aka Suga,
mhm.
aka one of the rappers of the group.
Mhm.
He's one of the older ones. Um, yeah, he's the rapper. He's
How did
Suga.
you get into him?
Okay,
I don't think you
I'll go.
covered that, and
Yeah,
then you can
so
cover it like
I'll
a
get
little bit
into
better.
why he became a bias. So I was leaning into Namjoon too.
Mhm.
And then I started watching all their like, so it's called Run BTS. That's their little like just reality show,
Mhm.
little like thing that they have where they just film footage of them
Mhm.
doing like fun stuff. And then through that, I think I started seeing another side of Yoongi. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
this guy's really quiet and shy, but then he's the type of guy very similar to my husband where he only shows his true colors to the people he's really comfortable
Oh,
with and
yeah,
he really
yeah.
loves. And I
Yeah.
like something about that I'm really drawn to.
Okay. You like that mystery.
Yeah, and I just like appreciate that about him, like how he just like
Mm.
lays it out and really like shows that to his like people, his circle.
Mhm.
I think also Mic Drop though was a big like, oh,
Oh.
this guy, he's not biased. Like Mic Drop, I saw that Yugi started rapping and like his performance, his like mannerisms,
Uh-huh.
his rap like tone, like his voice. I was like, oh.
What does he say? He's like, "미안해, 엄마."
Oh, I can't even do the whole rap right now, but yeah, no, yeah, I was so drawn to the rap and then
Mhm.
also who he is as a person. He's like
Mhm.
really that personality of like quiet, composed, like people are like scared of him at first and then realize he's
Mhm.
actually such a soft human being who's really funny and like not a man of little words, but when he does speak, his words
It's
carry a
like
lot of
mighty.
meaning and
Yeah.
stuff like that. He's like that kind of person.
Poor Namjoon. We both moved on.
But we
We
love all of
love him.
them.
Yeah,
We
we love
love
him
him
and everyone.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who's your number two? Because I know we be fighting.
man, that always changes, to be honest. Like every once in a while it's Jungkook when I just hear those raw
Yes.
vocals, I'm like,
Yes.
oh, so good. Also, my husband has a bias and it's Jungkook.
Mm.
Rightfully
Right
so.
answer.
Like he is so nice with it. Like, yeah,
Smooth.
whenever I hear those vocals, I'm like, oof, Jungkook. But I think sometimes it goes back. Oh, actually, like Jin, and we'll talk about
Oh
him. But
yeah.
I love Jin. Like I love Yoongi.
He could be your friend.
Yeah, Yoongi's my bias, but I think I would be so nervous to be on a date with him. I wouldn't know what to say.
Mm.
I would be just like drooling and just be like, ah, da, 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 da. Like
La, la, la.
I love you. Like that's it. But it's Jin, the oldest, like he's so fun and he has such a like personality where I would be like, I just want to hang out with you. Like I think I would have so much fun. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he would be really good at making you feel comfortable and like really good at like having a fun day kind of person. So yeah, that's my bias and that's kind of like
I
where
mean,
I'm all over though. I
they're
love
all
all of
good.
them.
Yeah.
I really love all of them.
I do too. I
Yeah.
mean, Jin is growing on me.
I know. Jin, I think is so misunderstood. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people are turned off a little bit in the beginning by his antics of like,
Yeah.
I'm worldwide handsome.
Yeah, I think that
like,
I thought that as cocky in the beginning.
yeah, and a lot of people see that, but I think when you really get down to the surface, like or below the surface, and peel back the layers of him as a person, like he's so funny. And some psychologists might psychoanalyze and be like, oh, it's a front for his insecurities or whatever. I think he's just genuinely so funny, and like he's genuinely so confident in who he is.
Yeah.
And as of his face, which is objectively handsome, by the way.
Yeah. He got scouted on like the street too.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think he's hilarious, and I think he's genuinely such a kind, emotionally intelligent person. It takes a lot, I think, because he's the oldest of the group.
Right.
But it takes a lot, I think, of humility and emotional intelligence to be the oldest and submit to the leadership of RM.
Right, right.
Which is huge in Korean culture too, because it's
Yeah.
like in Korean culture, like being the oldest is like huge, like the
Right, right.
hierarchy
It's
and
like a
like the,
respect thing is
yeah,
huge.
but for him to like not like abuse that as like, oh, I'm the oldest though,
Yeah.
like, you know what I
Like
mean?
there's no ego. He's like, "Oh, I'll take my
Yeah,
place."
and he really like kind of submits to RM's like leadership and stuff, and I think that says a lot about who he is as a person. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
that's Jin.
that's
That's our
Jin.
funny, silly, worldwide handsome, oldest guy. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's Namjoon, who we've
Yes.
talked about, but he's, yeah, basically he's the leader.
He's great too. Like I saw this thing online where like they say the best leader, like in failure, they're in the front
Mm,
of the pack,
mm-hmm.
but in success, they're in the back. And he does
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's such a great leader and
Mm-hmm.
like he is such a great human being. And I think the big reason why I wish people gave BTS a chance who just shrugs them off,
Mm-hmm.
I always think of Namjoon. I'm
Mm.
like people are just so quick to like, oh, just a K-pop group who like da da da. Dude, like Namjoon is so intelligent and he's
Mm-hmm.
so artistic. And like if you actually listen to their music, oh, it's in Korean, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Translation, hello.
Yeah.
Like if you listen and read their lyrics, like there is so much depth to their music and like the lyrics and what they sing about. It's like
Mm.
everyone thinks that they just sing about love and girls and money, whatever. A lot of their music is about like their depression,
Yeah.
about like just life and like
Mm-hmm.
all these things. Like
Questions.
Namjoon reads so much books. He's a reader that like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of his songs are about like these things in books that even I've never heard of, or just like
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I'm just like, what? Like what is the magic shop? Like,
I know, that's such a good
yeah, like there's a
song.
magic shop that's about like the door to
Mm-hmm.
like your mind and like the place you go to when you're depressed and like whatever.
Mm.
I'm probably getting it all wrong and butchering it, but like like that's like what their music is about. It's like hope giving, it's joy
Right.
giving, it's light giving,
Right.
and I wish more people understood that. And like,
Too.
yeah.
What would you say is like they have a lot in their discography, but what would you pick as like your top song and
Oh,
why?
that is so
I
hard.
know. There's only one.
I said Magic Shop for the longest time
Yeah,
though,
it's a good
just
song.
because I understood the meaning. Basically, I'm gonna butcher it again because I'm blinking out, but like it's from a book that Namjoon read
Mm-hmm,
about
mm-hmm.
like a psychological like term or something like that, just the power of your mind, of
Mm-hmm.
how you're able to like enter the magic shop, like
Right.
create a place in your mind that you can enter into as like a safe place
Yeah.
basically. And it's just like a song about like no matter like how you're feeling, like you can enter that, I'll be there.
Oh
It's kind of
yes.
like a love song but in a
Mm-hmm.
deeper sense of like, oh, like I'll be there for you, like
Yeah.
I'll meet you there at the
Yeah.
magic shop, like you can enter this place and feel safe and
Yeah.
feel heard and like stuff like that.
It's a good message.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a
That's
beautiful
a good one.
song.
I would have said that too.
Yeah.
Because I remember you explaining that to me one time.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I think mine is like more recent, yet to come,
Oof.
because I think in the music video it's like a culmination of like everything that they have
Yeah,
done,
yeah.
and I don't know. It's just like it felt like the end of a quote unquote era, and I can't wait for them to come back. And I don't know
Mm,
what's to come, but like
yeah,
excited for the future. And
yeah.
like I don't know. For me, it was like they were closing one chapter and they did so much in that
Mhm,
chapter, and
mhm,
like they overcame a lot of challenges. I feel like that song represents so much,
mhm.
and yeah, I feel like yeah,
Mm,
I hope we all have that in our
yeah,
lives, or the best is yet to come in all our lives. You know,
yeah. That song is really special, and that also kind of makes me think of Life Goes On.
life goes on.
And I feel like
Yeah.
that's such a classic, and some people might say so basic,
Mm.
but I think Life Goes On is so special to me and to a lot of people because that came out during a time, it
Okay.
came out during COVID, and I just think that like people really needed that during that
Yeah.
time. And like a lot of people are COVID army because during COVID, it's like we needed something,
Mm-hmm.
like outside of just like I don't know, like
Mhm.
we're Christians, like I'm a religious, I consider myself a person of faith, and like I have my faith and I have this and that,
Mhm.
but I just needed something also just like something simple and
Yeah.
lighthearted
Yeah.
and something fun.
Good
And I think the
energy.
BTS content really gave me that. Like it was just something that's like, I don't like, it's not like a serious show, or it's not
Mhm.
something like, it was just like whenever I turn to BTS content, it's just something that makes me happy. It makes
Yeah.
me laugh. It
Yeah.
makes me have hope. It's just
Yeah.
like something that's just fun, that
Yeah.
like that positive energy that people needed. And
Mhm.
like Life Goes On, I think, was such a meaningful like anthem for
Mhm.
people during
Mhm.
that time,
Mhm.
and even after that. Yeah, I don't know.
Like for me it's like I think in America it's been indoctrinated in my mind that it's a dog eat dog world out there, and like
Mm,
there's a seat at the table for people, but like there's still not enough seats. So you
mm,
gotta fight for like, you know, like you gotta prove yourself still to those who
mhm,
don't believe in you or whatever.
mhm,
But I feel like what I appreciate is BTS is able to show that like you could still maintain the core of who you are, of being like a good person in the sense of like not letting the glitz and the glamour like overshadow like
mm,
your core values, because it can
yeah,
easily change
yeah,
without even knowing. And I feel like for the most part they've like remained the same in that way. Like I
mhm,
remember one time like they were at a hotel and they were freaking out about the room service like fee or whatever. They're
mhm,
like, why is this so expensive? But I'm
mhm.
like, they're like million billionaires, and I'm like, it's probably like $1 to
Yeah,
them, but they're like freaking out.
yeah,
And it's just like a small example where like
yeah,
they forget that they're rich, I
yeah.
guess, in that way. But like I think it's like a lesson that we all could take from.
Yeah, yeah. I think a big thing too, though, and this could be like another topic in itself, but like the fandom, like who they are as people has like trickled into the fandom, and like
Mhm.
Army itself is like an army. Like
Mhm.
Army has done so much, and I
Mhm.
think people may have heard of it here and there, but like the contributions, like the financial contributions
Mhm.
they've done for like different organizations or movements,
Mhm.
um, in the name of BTS, which sounds a little culty and kind of weird, I think.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, isn't that? I feel like it's so cool that like a fandom dedicated to a group is challenged by who they are as good
Mhm.
people to like basically do good in itself
Mhm.
as a fandom too. You know what I mean? So I think that's really powerful and really a testament to who they are as well.
Oh,
So
Master Wash.
hello,
Hello,
Lashy.
Lashy. I was probably trying
You
to fall
still
off
look
this.
good, by the
Okay,
way.
nice, nice. The viewers
Um,
can't see this, by the way, but I think I was trying to fall off this
yeah,
whole
but
time.
I wanted to say that because I think a lot of people hear about the toxic
Mhm.
aspects to the fandom, which I 100% agree there is,
Mhm.
like the parasocial relationships, the
Yeah.
sasaengs, whatever it's called. You know what I mean? And this goes for any like fan, or like in
Right.
K-pop culture, it's like a really toxic thing where like,
But also on the other spectrum, it's like inspiring. Like
yeah,
it pushes you to like if you they can do something like that they're passionate about, so can you.
exactly. Yeah. So I think I just wanted to like speak on that and touch on like the positive of the fandom, because I think people just kind of like dwell on the negative, because
Mhm.
there is a lot of negative, there is a lot of
Yeah.
toxic army out there and a lot of toxic like fans,
Mhm.
which we are not a part of, I would say. And we do not condone, or yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just think
Although side tangent, we don't, condone any of that, but um I feel like I change a little bit
uh-huh.
depending on my what my bias does. So like I'm not like a like I don't love smokers,
Oh.
but Jungkook smokes and everything's okay with that man. He could do the most wrong. He could burn something down and be like, "I'm there for you
That's the
to the
Delulu
depths."
speaking.
Yeah, yeah.
That stuff is fun. That stuff
Yeah.
is like fun, lighthearted jokes.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it
oh,
a
you're a
joke?
smoker? It's okay.
Is it a joke? Okay.
I think it's funny. I think it gets toxic when it's like people start canceling.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if they did a music video with a girl and then the fans like cancel her or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
she's so ugly, like cancel, and like
Mhm.
destroy her on social
Mhm.
media or whatever. Or like even if, or just like people who have snuck into their private
Right,
places.
right.
Like, I
Without
don't
their
even know.
consent,
Yeah,
yeah.
paparazzi business, like that kind of weird toxic business, like
Mm-hmm.
stalking them, posting things on the internet that shouldn't be posted. Things like that, I think, like
Mm-hmm.
obviously are toxic, but we can have a little lighthearted delusional fun,
Okay. Before we get into there, I
Yeah.
one thing I want to cover
Hmm.
is what about them and their concerts do you love so much? Because I feel like it's so different from Western music, and I want people to understand that before we get into the delulu of it
Yeah,
all.
gosh, I don't know. Okay, well, I can say this. Okay, we've been to BTS concert and then we've also been to like Taylor Swift concert,
Yes.
which is amazing, amazing.
Amazing.
And then we've been to Jonas Brothers and
Yes.
stuff like that. But I don't know, I think with BTS, there's such a special like camaraderie and
Mm-hmm.
just community. I
Mm-hmm.
feel that when I'm at Taylor Swift too, just this
Mm-hmm.
love for this person and the music
Mm-hmm.
and what it's done. But I think with BTS, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I think the fun part of BTS is kind of like the thirst trap of it all. Like how we get kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
like how we get kind of like savage at like I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like barking at a Taylor Swift concert, but at like a BTS concert, like I'll be crying one minute because their music is so beautiful, and then another minute I'll be
Jungkook
like,
shirt comes
the
off.
Jungkook's buttons come off, and we're like barking at his like ass.
My favorite.
Like we go feral. Like, is that how you say it? Feral,
Yeah.
feral.
And he
Like,
knows too. He be
oh
like
yeah,
smirking.
like you know what I mean? Like, there's so many levels of emotions you feel at the concert of like, oh my god, life goes on, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful, and then like boom, like they start dancing like ah, like just that fangirl that you get to experience is
Uh-huh.
so
Uh-huh.
fun.
Uh-huh. And it's high energy like throughout.
Yeah, and I think a big thing that's the most special thing at a BTS concert is seeing, like especially in the States, is that as a Korean, I'm there to support my fellow Koreans.
Mm-hmm.
We're the minority when we're there.
Right.
That is so impressive to me, is that they filled up
Yeah.
SoFi Stadium for more than a day,
The largest
sold
stadium in
out.
LA.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
sold out SoFi Stadium for like 3 days, more than that, I think, with like the most diverse population you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all there to listen to them. There's no translations when you're there.
Yeah.
They're singing like 90% of the time in Korean. And
Mm-hmm.
these people are singing along and have memorized their music and like are singing. And I think that's
Yeah.
what's so like emotional and special for me, is seeing
Mm-hmm.
like, holy crap, like they've really broken boundaries and they've really
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's so cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I also think for me, like I love that. Okay, this is my ranking. Like I would put like if I were to put like BTS at the top, in Western music, Taylor Swift is my top. She's like the
Mm,
closest to like a
that's
BTS kind
fair.
of experience.
Yeah.
And what I like is like the dances are so intense
Hmm.
and they upkeep that like the whole time. And
Yeah.
it's like heavy footwork and
Yeah.
choreography. And like on top of that, like I love like there's like those interactive, like one part of the concert one time was like Namjoon like hitting like the gun and
Uh-huh.
it like
Uh-huh.
shot stuff
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
they're dancing with people in the
Yeah.
crowd and it's
Yeah.
just like so much is going on. There's like
Hmm.
little like confetti, like whatever. And even like the visuals too. It's just
Hmm.
like and also the fan chants that
Yeah, the
like it's
fan.
specific
I
to
think that's what makes it really fun too, is that like
yeah.
this back and forth that they have going on at the concert, like that we like memorize and are able to do, even though I
Mhm.
can't like sing the whole song like I
Yeah.
can at a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
I can like participate in the song in a really fun way with
Yeah.
like the fan chants and like
And in Korean music specifically, like we have the little what is it
the
called?
light
Light
sticks.
sticks. Like
Yeah.
in Western music it's a little different.
Yeah, they
But
give
it's a
you like the
whole
bracelets.
experience.
Yeah.
You bring this, the colors
Yeah.
change. It's
And
like
I think, I mean, Taylor Swift was pretty different and cool this year where they had the friendship
yeah.
bracelets
Yeah, yeah.
exchanging, but that feels very K-poppy to me. Like
Yeah.
usually that's a very K-pop
Right.
culture thing where like you go to a K-pop concert and like people are passing out freebies. That's so cool. Like, you know, like I got my like the photo cards. Like that's a
photo
very, I feel like a
cards.
very K-pop culture thing where you go to these concerts and like people are passing out things like freebies and like stuff like that.
Yeah, like befriend a stranger.
Yeah, it's a little bit like very significant to K-pop culture, but yeah, that's fun too.
And it's funny because like I'm sure it happens in other groups too, but like let's say you don't know somebody and you're like, oh, you're a fan of BTS? Cleared.
Immediate connection.
Clear.
Yeah.
You're safe.
Yeah, immediate. I remember I was at a concert actually. Blue Eyes. Hello, Blue Eyes.
Blue Eyes.
I was at a Blue Eyes concert. I wore my Yoongi jacket, and this girl came up to me. She was like, "I love your jacket." And I was like, "I love you. I already know you're a Yoongi stan." Like, you know what I mean? It's just like immediate connection. Like, that's also really fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get Delulu.
Okay, this is for our Delulu girlies. I had a segment on TikTok, a would you rather segment.
Okay.
That was really Delulu, that I thought I would bring back.
Okay.
Thought it was funny. I won't go through all of these, but I'll go through a couple.
Okay. And want me to read some for you too?
We'll go over it together.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So the first one that I'll ask is, would you rather have front row tickets to an intimate concert with just your bias? So a small concert that your bias put on, front row.
He's performing in it or like sitting with me? Oh.
He's performing.
Oh,
so
but
like, you know how like Namjoon had that small concert for his album release? Kind of like that, but for your bias. Or free nosebleeds to their reunion concert in 2025.
Oh, easy. Intimate concert.
Oh, really?
Girl, I don't want to see them from far away if I can see them up close. What the heck?
So I think I initially would have said that to free intimate concert.
Yeah,
like, oh God, to be like have Yoongi sweat like fall on my face. Like, please. But I think more and more as this hiatus has gotten extended, like when I think about their reunion, I'm like, it makes me so emotional, and I'm like,
now I feel selfish.
No, it's okay. I think honestly, if I was presented with the two, I think I would still choose the intimate concert just to get that like.
I just want to feel their sweat.
Oh my God, yeah. Like when he's rapping that spit like. But yeah, that's a hard one though.
Yeah,
I think
that's a good one.
Because I feel like the fandom just continues to grow, that I'm always like scared now. Like, am I even going to be able to get tickets to their next one? Like, who knows? You know. I don't know.
That's a good start.
Yeah. Okay. How about this one? Because I picked these two. This was kind of from my TikTok thing, but I changed it up a little bit because they're both not really our biases.
Okay.
So I wanted to change it up. So would you rather go camping with V or shopping with Hobie? I feel like I already know what you're going to pick.
Oh. Okay. I know you think I would pick shopping with Hobie.
Uh-huh.
But he's just a pal to me. And I just like, V's like, I don't even like camping.
Yeah.
But he can like teach me.
Oh,
you know?
Wow.
Because when I'm hanging out with him, I don't want to be like a pal. I want to be like, you know, he's good looking. Like, you know, they're all good looking, but like,
okay. That's surprising to me.
It's not a friend hangout for me. It's something else.
Yeah. Okay. That's funny because I actually thought I would pick camping, but now that I think about it, I'd rather go shopping with Hobie. I feel like camping would be a little too ooh.
We'll struggle together and bond. I hope he's just gonna buy you clothes and it's over.
Dude, that'd be so fun.
For 1 hour,
I'll be that dressing room husband, like sitting. Like,
camping is like a weekend.
Yeah,
I get a weekend. You get a day.
I get like hours though.
Camping is a whole weekend.
Okay, that's true. That's so funny. I thought you would pick shopping.
I would if it was like vice versa.
Okay. Okay. If you could get front row to concert, would it be rap line? If you had to pick between rap line or vocal line. So for the people who don't know, it's probably just ARMY that's stuck around to this point. But there's a rap line. Like we have our three rappers, Namjoon, Yoongi, and J-Hope. And then we have our vocal line, which is the rest, which is Jin, V, Jimin, and Jungkook, which has your bias in it.
Easy answer.
Which one would you want to front row to? You had to pick one group.
For those who don't know, I really like rap. In my other life, I thought I would be a rapper. But I get a better deal with 4.
Yeah.
So and also two of my biases are in there.
Yeah,
So I gotta go with the vocal
vocal
line.
line. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Rap line is an easy yes for me,
Of
though.
course, because
Yeah.
Yoongi's there.
Yeah. But also
Of
just to
course.
see those three,
Yeah.
like do a cipher. Gosh, I
But
would die.
have you heard Dimple?
I
Like,
know, I
ooh.
know. Oof. I was gonna say like Dimple or Thing. Like,
the Thing is so good.
I don't know. That's
Actually,
hard.
yeah. Oh, Thing would be hard. I really like
All
Thing
right,
too.
let's get a little spicy.
Wait. Jungkook's Thing or the regular?
Regular Thing. Okay. Would you rather be the baby oil applicator on JK's abs, or 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 the physical therapist massaging Namjoon's thighs? I need to
Can you
preface
repeat that
this.
question?
I need to preface this by saying my husband thought of this, by the way.
Oh.
Okay? This is the spicy one. It's because I asked him for an idea. I was like, I need something spicy. He was like, okay, here's the one.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. Would you rather be the one like applying baby oil on Jungkook's abs to make them glisten? Or would you like be massaging Namjoon's thunder thighs, after a long dance?
Easy. Abs.
Abs.
Jungkook's abs.
Yeah.
I need to feel them.
I would do abs too, just because I think I would tickle Namjoon. Like, I'd be like, I'm not doing this right.
No, I would be like slow. I'd be like, all right, your shoulders. Do you want a little bit on your face?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the center pecs.
Okay.
The abs.
Here's another one. Would you rather be in a secret relationship with one member, but you cannot tell anyone, no friends or family, or you get to be a public bestie with the group, but you're friend zoned for life?
Oh, the whole group?
Yeah. Like
we hang out a
like
lot?
Halsey. Like you're like Halsey. Like they all love you. You get to hang, like you have their cell numbers, you're their friends, but just friend. But like everyone knows that you're like friends with them.
Like good friends.
Yeah.
Wait, secret relationship.
Like,
does it mean that they can have other relationship too? And I'm just like the side?
Oh, we're going too deep. I don't know. However you wanna. I think like they're just with you, but it's a secret. And
but like for life?
Yeah.
It's a for lifer thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Easy. I'll pick that one.
Secret relationship, but like no one can know.
Who cares? I know. It's up here. It's what do they call it? Like I don't want to be PDAing. It's like at home. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's in my.
That's so hard for me because I think just naturally I would want to flaunt it. I would want to be like, "This is my man." That would be so hard for me.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I know.
Okay, I either have him or I don't. And if this is the way they get him, as long as I know that I have him, who cares about other people? No, okay, like
yeah.
He's in my vicinity every day.
Oh,
that's good. And we'd be sharing a space. We'd be sharing the same air. That's good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do one more.
Okay.
Would you rather be their makeup artist, but you're not allowed to talk to them?
No.
Or you get 1 hour VIP backstage time with them.
VIP backstage.
Really?
What? I can't talk to them? What the heck? Oh, what if we just lock eyes and fall in love though? With no words.
That's what I was waiting for. So on my TikTok, a lot of the comments I was surprised were like, makeup artist, I don't need to talk. I get to touch his face. Yeah. I get to like
smiles with
like
your eyes.
Breathe his air. Yeah. That's like
what would you pick?
Speaking. I would pick the hour VIP. I feel like I'm not super Delulu enough for these prompts.
Wait till you can get them for him.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
I thought you said you would go to Korea for him tomorrow.
I would. Exactly. Actually, you know what? If it was Yoongi, I would love to be his makeup artist because I wouldn't know what to say to him anyway.
Yeah.
Just be in silence like
I think he'll be freaked out. With that face, I freaked out. I think I'll faint.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, those
are some fun Delulu prompts.
That was a good little Delulu segment.
I know.
Now I want them to be real.
Yeah.
Can they not be real?
Depends on how Delulu you want to be.
TBD, you know?
TBD.
Some people, regular folk, marry these idols, okay?
God, one day to the lucky wives or husbands. To the lucky partners of our boys.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
May the odds be ever in your favor. Shout out to Jinsa once again.
Thank you.
Any last words on our boys?
They're so hot. Humble, kind,
2025
talented.
couldn't come sooner.
Yes. We're almost done with 2024. Thank goodness.
I know. Hopefully we're calling it, manifesting it, that we will be at that concert. And hopefully we'll see you there.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Lashley says bye.